Hold on to your controller. We're bringing you 10 hot games and jamming tips, slammed into 30 minutes. On this Twitch, virtuosity goes prehistoric when Toshinden scratches its way into our fighting arena. You may not have the cheerleaders, but College Football 96 could be your ticket to the big leagues. And inside the bloodiest battles yet, we'll take a Twitch trip to meet the makers of Primal Rage. First up, fighting games. Let's Twitch.
Sony PlayStation's fighting game, Battle Arena Toshinden, doesn't offer you much in the way of a plot. What you shouldn't mind is you guide some characters with major bad attitude through this virtual world of fist-crunching, fighting, and all that good stuff. Now, the cinematic graphics in this game are so cool, you're going to think you're watching a movie rather than playing a game. Let's meet a few characters that rock Toshinden's Battle Arena. Sophia keeps everyone's respect with a sharp eye and a mean whip. She's not as fast as some others, but she'll whip you into shape in no time if you're not on your toes. Rungo Iron is a big lunk with an even bigger club, and everyone looks like a nail to Rungo, and he even got the hammer to prove it. 45 proves that respect does come with age. His Iron Claw is merely a distraction before he teaches you an ancient lesson or two with his blue fireball moves. And Duke B. Rambert has a big, long, two-handed sword. Dragging around such a big weapon doesn't do much for his speed. When he makes contact, look out.
You were destined to lose.
Finally, there's Elise. She looks like someone's lost doll and just happens to sport a couple mean-looking knives. Of course, being so small has its advantages. Drop your guard for a moment and she'll be in for the kill.
I never give up.
Some fighters might find the move options more limited than some other games, but fluid fighting action and a constantly moving camera keeps the action moving. Now, you can play this game in single-player mode, player versus the computer, or two-player mode. You can set your bout time, how many points it takes to win a fight, and once you step in the battle arena, that's where the action is. That's where the business starts. It's just you, your moves up against some mean-looking opponent who's ready to help you kiss the mat.
When you were a kid, you used to have dreams, or maybe nightmares, that your toys came alive at night, that soldiers staged battles under your bed, or maybe your teddy bear took over the world. Yeah, right. Well, now your dreams and your nightmares have come alive with the great adventure and great graphics of Sega Saturn's Clockwork Knight. You are a knight on the ultimate quest. Chelsea, who's a real doll, has been kidnapped. The other toys, well, they kind of turn to the dark side, if you know what I mean. You alone are left to save the toy world, so you better get at it. Your first key to unlocking this little world is your key. You can use it as a sword, you are a knight after all, or all aboard, it can be your key to hitching a ride on the Clockwork Railroad. The graphics are what make this game really cool. Here, you're busy in a fight with a flying robot, so you hardly notice the bright colors of Clockwork Red and Clockwork Blue. And they show you everything, including the kitchen sink. Like the toys they represent, this game is bright and colorful, but it ain't nap time, so pay attention. Get through a tough room and take your chances on the roulette wheel. A few extra points might be your key later on. As the levels move on, you'll find toys with more punch, but don't let them throw the book at you. Take your time and push your way on. You won't find your main squeeze toy unless you face the big, bad toy. He may be hopping mad, but fear not, good knight. Sometimes he brings the house down with him. If the doll means anything to you, you'll keep on fighting. So spend your night checking out Clockwork Knight. It may be a toy game, but no way is this kid stuff.
Tired of driving that sleek sports car? When you're playing Sega Saturn's Daytona USA, for extra thrills, try racing as a horse. When the white title screen is showing, simultaneously enter and hold up left buttons A, B, X, Z, and press start. Then choose the Saturn Racing mode and press left on the directional pad to choose your vehicle. The horse option will scroll onto the screen, choose it, and get ready for some real horsepower.
You are the venerable Prince Ali. Doesn't that name sound vaguely familiar? And you've discovered a magical gold amulet, kind of lamp-like, and now you must round up 4 elemental spirits, somewhat like genies, to wield the full power of your talisman and stop the evil one who carries its silver counterpart in Sega's Beyond Oasis. As far as RPGs go, this one is fun enough, but no great challenge. One of the coolest things about Beyond Oasis is the arcade-style fighting moves Ali can deliver. This royal adventurer can bust some serious butt. The look and style of the creatures definitely goes beyond the typical RPG card. Note how Ali keeps moving during his attacks so he doesn't get crushed beneath the leaping monster. Avoid the bubbles the thing spits, because that is some deadly breath. You want to get the elementals on your side as soon as possible, as in this case with Dido, the water spirit. They're immensely helpful and nasty little scrappers themselves. Use them to help you find things, divert attacks, or even paralyze the monsters themselves. The key to this and any RPG is getting the right tool at the right time. As in most cases, everything stops as you choose the item of choice. So, pick up everything you can and take inventory often. Although Ali faces monsters and zombies, it's all on a G-rated level. If you're looking for a little RPG excitement on the level of Aladdin, then this is your card. But if you're a hardcore RPGer, it might leave you wanting more.
In an average week, 45,969 American couples get married, 73,507 babies are born, and 3 networks bring you family viewing on 1 channel, Intro Television. With the Disney Channel, TV Food Network, and Cartoon Network, we're the world's first sampler channel. From music to sports to movies, Intro introduces you to over 30 networks a week. Now that's news for the whole family. Intro Television, a world of networks on 1 channel.
There's a hot, handsome, really fabulous-looking hunk on Baywatch, and he's not wearing a bathing suit.
Welcome back to Coming Attractions, where we show you tomorrow's movies right now.
Have you ever been at the business end of a stiff arm from a Heisman Trophy candidate? Have you ever had to scramble out of the pocket to avoid a 230-pound linebacker? Have you ever had the chance to do a touchdown dance in front of 100,000 screaming fans? Well, if you've ever dreamed about playing in the big game, it's time to wake up and smell the turf. With Electronic Arts College Football 96 on Sega Genesis, you do it all. You call the plays, you execute the plays, you are the man. You set the games, the season, the weather conditions, and pick your opponent. You'll have 108 Division 1A teams from 7 conferences to choose from. Each team has a complete roster of 45 players. If you're into stats, College Football 96 also keeps track of all individual and seasonal statistics. And once you're on the field, throw, kick, spin, dive, high step, and most of all, use your head. Make personnel decisions. Call your formation, call the play, and execute. Mix them up in the huddle, or go with no huddle. Get some points on the board. Line up in the 3-4, the 4-3, the nickel, the dime, or goal line packages. Choose the man-on-man or zone for your coverage. Introduce yourself to the receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks with bone-crushing tackles, devastating blitzes, and high-flying interceptions.
Interception.
Electronic Arts has put together another great sports game. College Football 96 looks, sounds, and has the feel of real college football. It's all there. The thrill of the quarterback sneak over the goal line, the punishing goal line stands, the agony of losing the sure thing, and the thrill of winning it all.
How do you know if you've been in a really gnarly motorcycle race? Dizziness from excessive G's, blurred vision caused by high speeds, bugs in your teeth, bruised knuckles, and a really bad case of road rash by Electronic Arts for 3DO. Pick a character that fits your style. Each one is unique in their own twisted way. Some come with cash, some with their favorite weapon or attack move. Others are just plain mean. Where do bikers like you hang out? Der Panzer Club or Oli Scooterama, of course. Check out the bulletin board for races and set all of your game options such as game save and load, sound, music, and difficulty level. Oli Scooterama has a fine selection of bikes to choose from. Each differs in price, features, and performance. Check them out. In Road Rash 3DO, Electronic Arts has a tasty little game. You'll need to avoid pedestrians, animals, oncoming cars, traffic, and the cops. .3DO utilizes its CD technology and the full-motion video sequences that detail the consequences of your crashes or arrest. Believe me, they're not pretty. Winning is a lot better. In Road Rash 3DO, Electronic Arts has a tasty little game on its hands. The music is cool, and the live video footage is humorous and on the cutting edge. Really, the only thing missing is a box of Band-Aids.
So you're a video game freak and you're looking for the perfect summer job. Meet Greg Evans.
I drive around the country and I show people the new games, including Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. I like all the new animal friends. There's some new friends like a rattlesnake and a tennis shoe-wearing spider. I like coming out here and just hiding in the truck and playing the game when everyone else has gone to bed.
You call that work, Greg? I don't think so.
It really is a brave new world. And here is the first of some brand new technology. The latest video game releases without leaving your house. The Sega Channel. And here's how it works. You get the Sega Channel brain from your cable guys. Oh, by the way, you gotta have cable to make this device work. Hook your cable to the Genesis, and this menu screen appears on your TV. And click. You select the type of game you want, then pick the exact game. And here it comes, downloaded right into your Genesis. A minute later, you get the game. Just press start, and you're ready to roll. Every month, you get to play 50 different games anytime you want, and they even let you demo new games that haven't been released yet. So if you're gaming on the Genesis, call your local cable company and ask for the Sega Channel. They'll tell you how to get it. Excuse me, I gotta play this.
The history of the world has many great pairings. The cool romance of Bogart and Bacall, the smooth blend of peanut butter and jelly, and the wild beep-beep of Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Now Sega Genesis lets you run wild with the great Roadrunner Coyote Challenge in their Desert Demolition game. May the best tune win. The cool thing about this game is that you get to pick who you want to be. Choose the bird and you spend your life like a fugitive, always just one step away from capture. Or pick the coyote, a misunderstood hero who'd rather fight than switch. We'll start with the Roadrunner. What you've got on your side here is speed. After all, he's not the road crawler. And if your everyday speed isn't fast enough for you, put it in overdrive and really tear up the desert. The only thing Roadrunner stops for is his own personal rocket fuel, also known as birdseed. Now that's a good thing. Stay away from the feed bag too long or that Wile E. Coyote will come up and get you. That is a bad thing. All right, all right. The fun thing about being the coyote is that you've got all these cool contraptions to help you catch that stupid beeping bird. And someday, you know one of them's gotta work. You've just got to hope you've hitched yourself to the right rocket, or bang, zoom, you could end up as space junk. Play the game to answer the eternal question, what do you play first, the chicken or the egghead coyote? That's not all, folks. From Red Rock Rendezvous to Granite Gulch, you'll face 6 desert levels, all hotter than the last. And the faster you run, the faster your heart will beep beep.
Hey, let's check out the San Francisco-based Time Warner Interactive, home of the Primal Rage team, the head-to-head fighting game that has one objective in mind, total domination of the new Earth. The Primal Rage team spent over 2 years creating this multi-platform arcade game spin-off. The goal? To make the Primal Rage creatures different from the human characters in the other fighting games, enabling development of a more complex fighter. In creating Primal Rage, Time Warner Interactive went back to some of the classics to invent something entirely new.
I was inspired by the old Ray Harryhausen stop-motion movies, Jason and the Argonauts, or King Kong, and that sort of thing.
Stop-frame animation, the process long used in Hollywood for movies like King Kong, and used today for feature film special effects, was the key in creating the game's look. The result is lifelike prehistoric characters that move smoothly, adding detail and personality.
I love the characters. The characters are awesome. Guys like Chaos, he's just this wild ape. We totally wanted to make him completely different from Blizzard, which is the other ape in the game. So we gave him stuff like the Fart of Fury. And the guy pukes, and he does other stuff that if your parents knew about, they would really not want you to have this game in their home.
But the appeal of Primal Rage goes far beyond the interesting characters. The fighting engine makes Primal Rage a game with more combinations than any other game to date. Add in original moves and advantages like sweeping tails, razor-like claws, and prehistoric butt slams, and the result is one of the most complex fighting games available, starring 7 charismatic and amazingly lifelike characters. After 2 years of all-nighters for the designers and rumors of a sequel, Primal Rage hit the shelves an immediate success. The best part of the experience?
The kids come in and they play it and they absolutely love it. We have a phase that we go through called the field test, which is where we test the game at the local arcade. And what we'll do is we'll go down there and it's just, I can't tell you the feelings you get when you see kids crowded around your game, screaming and yelling and having a great time. That's what it's all worth.
Primal Rage is on multiple platforms, so pick it up and feel the rage.
Tempest, the pioneering token eater of the early 80s arcades. Now Atari has updated it to Tempest 2000 for the Jaguar system. Put on your bell-bottoms and white jacket. It's all here when you start with the traditional Tempest level. The Star Wars-style sound effects and the wrist-numbing action that will leave the carpal tunnel syndrome experts in work for years to come. The AI drone mode. There is a satisfaction in blowing the space boogers away. The 2000 mode allows you to collect power-ups on flats. Wow, it really is a brave new world out there. This juiced-up version uses all the devilish 64-bit trickery to, you'd better sit down, fill in the geometric outlines with colors. You'll relive hours of wasted youth in defeating the never-ending electronic minions of evil. Chances are, though, the younger players out there will be unimpressed with its lack of sophistication. But it's still addicting, even if you are too embarrassed to admit it.
In the world of fantasy, Disney may have the magic, but Lucas definitely has the firepower. Keep your Mickeys, Minnies, and Goofies. I'll settle for the cockpit of an X-Wing fighter in attack formation, heading into a storm of Imperial troops any day. Evil witches and big bad wolves? Nah, I've got Darth Vader to worry about. As soon as the titles run on the LucasArts Sega 32X Star Wars home version, any wannabe Skywalker out there should feel quite at home. The 32X mode doubles the fun with twice as many missions. Basically each mission from the arcade repeated twice. Even though all the pieces are here, fast-moving TIE fighters, swirling dives at Imperial cruisers, non-stop laser fire, something is lacking in the graphics. When you get your orders from Admiral Akbar and your blood's pumping, the roughness of the graphics should fade into the background. Besides, you've got other things to worry about. Even the music lacks the zip a Star Wars game deserves. It sounds like it's being played by some guy on a cheap Casio keyboard. Now these are pretty harsh criticisms to level against any game, but once you get past these problems, it's still pure Star Wars action. This home version does maintain the arcade feature of two-man play. One player grabs the flight stick as pilot, while the other mans the tail gun, in an effort to vaporize as much Imperial hardware as possible. Now, if they'd just come up with a lightsaber fighting game, that would really be something to get the Jedi forces flowing.
In X-Twitch, are you ready to enter the third dimension? Nintendo has thrown a curve at traditional home game systems with Virtual Boy. The goggles eliminate all external stimuli for the ultimate you-are-there experience. So if you're playing, say, Mario's Dream Tennis, swinging your virtual racket is reflex with a 90-mile-an-hour serve coming at you. My favorite thing about Virtual Boy is that it's powered by 6 AA batteries, so you can play it virtually anywhere.
Next week on Twitch, fighting at its best with Primal Rage, where brutal is as brutal does. Get ready, get rev, and lay down some rubber with Daytona USA. And look over the edge without losing your cookies when you take a shot at Off-World Interceptor Extreme.